The question we're looking at here is how we identify talent in a professional firm. It's interesting when you asked practice partners or operating fee earners, do you know your stars? Yes, they do. How long does it take you to know who are the stars that are coming through the bottom of your organizations? And the answer, universally is hardly any time at all. We can just sort of spot them. So we've been looking at some of the sort of concepts around talent identification of professionals and the sort of practical way that business leaders, partners in firms sort of understand why they can identify their stars pretty quickly. First concept to get hold of is a term we call speed to experience. Now this is a commercial issue for firms and it basically goes along the lines of the more skill that you can put into people more quickly, the greater your competitive advantage in the market. So if your junior people become more capable very fast, then the capability you can express into the market increases without increasing your costs. So pushing skill and capability early on into someone's professional career is generally a good thing. Now, so how do we do that? Well, what we find is that when in our research and in our teaching with professional firms, the first thing we know is that practice partners are very good at understanding the performance of their people. And in fact, some of the research we've conducted suggests that their sort of intuitive rank ordering of a team of professionals pretty well correlates perfectly to the actual underlying performance of those people in that team, where we're using hard metrics such as utilization or other objective data around performance. The second issue is rather more difficult. It's an issue of potential. So you get a grid, performance, potential. And the interesting and difficult issue is how partners and firms see potential in a young professional or a professional coming through into the partnership. Our research in this area suggests that there's 4 key issues in this. When somebody says, yes, you're a star, you have high potential, what they see first of all is that the individual has technical core competence. So it's the ability to do the professional work that they specialize in really well. We ask in research, how do you know that? Well, for instance, if there's a technical problem, more junior people come and ask them. So they used to arbitrate technical issues. They seem to operate in this technical area with authority that others recognize. So it's a behavior as well as something that's held inside them. We can see it in the behavior of other people around them. Second issue is the values of that individual, their ethical system, the way they operate on a value basis is aligned to that of the firm. So if the collegial deal of the firm, for example, is we're a team, we operate as a team, we go to market as a team, we play as a team, then the value system of the individual needs to be aligned to that. And we can witness that in the behavior of the individual as they operate within the context of their own firm. Third issue is ambition. Now this is the sense that people can be technically bright, technically able, they can be good team players or whatever the value system is, but do they have the underlying drive to do the hard work, to sustain the effort over time, to get to where they need to be in the hierarchy of the firm? And we know that the development of professionals is a relentless process that demands a lot of energy and a lot of effort on the part of the people that have ambition to move on. Now you think about those 3 areas and what happens if one of them is missing? So what happens if you're ambitious, your values are aligned, but you just don't have the technical competence? You just won't move on. If you're bright and technically able, are aligned but don't have the ambition, well, it just doesn't work for the firm. So all three of those things have to be available and visible in the individual. Now the fourth thing then is leadership. And the way we see this is that leadership, we'll cut it into two visible issues. So the first is leadership is witnessed by people who initiate things. So if you're passive as a professional, stuff doesn't get done. So you're looking for people who on a wet Thursday will get up and get something done. They can't stop themselves from doing that. They initiate consistently, constantly, all through their careers. Now that activity creates a pressure wave where people follow them. The second element of leadership is the ability to sustain that initiation. So, they keep going around the things that they initiate, and they create, followership behind them that allows the thing to get done. And they can do that again through their careers. So 4 key issues in the identification of potential are technical core competence, aligned values, the ambition of the individual, and the issue of leadership as witnessed by initiation and sustaining. Now, all of our work with partners suggests that we describe that in different ways, we categorize it differently, but that seems to be the core set that makes a star. So you put high performance together with high potential using those criteria, and the people up at the top, they're your stars.